Real luxury lies in the process of things.
What was the meaning of fashion to you? What was purchasing power like?
Every 500 kilometers, you find a new craft, a new culture. And this diversity, what India has got to offer to the world. I had a very, very humble upbringing because I came from a very, very small village. It was a very, very difficult phase for family, but equally beautiful phase for me because I got to spend like really beautiful time in the village.
There is no patriarchy in between us. There is no hierarchy between us. There is an equal love of partnership and friendship. Next day, I told my mother-in-law, let's pack the bag, let's go to the hospital.
First images I saw, they were in hospital. I could not believe. I said like, what, is this a joke or something? And then we both are sitting over there, nobody came to talk to us. My idea is like, if I have to make it big, if India has to make it big, it's not just about just two of us or three of us. It has to be quite a few more of us. I'm a big fan of Divya. Divya is like any wife, is the most hard to please person when it comes to designing. And she's the biggest critique I can ever have. Because Divya is in a way hard taskmaster, Shakti behind the brand. She does more than 90% of everything.
Divya, have you ever looked at the label and wished your name was there?
Honestly, Masoom,
Rahul and Divya, welcome to the Masoom Minawala show. Super excited, thankful and grateful for you both for being here today.
thank you, Masoom. We are super stoked because we really, really love you and respect you, what you've made for yourself and how proud we are for your journey. And we are very, very happy to be here with you today.
Same here. Like
Thank
it was really exciting. I was looking forward for this.
Thank you. So I'm going to actually start the conversation with what Rahul does for the brand and what Divya does for the brand. What are the roles that you divide and play?
Shall I start?
Yeah.
I think we are the yin and the yang of the, and you can say the two sides of one coin. We both train designers and we both know, I think just not the creative part, but how to run an organization. I think just to be a designer is just not the goal. It's all about how to put together the ecosystem. Rahul will elaborate onto this now, would you?
So obviously Divya wants to hear like whatever. I'm a big fan of Divya. So all this while, because I always say this, and this is not a joke. Like I would have been sitting right now also at NID gate and probably having chai and bhajia chai gate and would play frisbee and cricket every day. Maybe life would have been far more happier. But all this I give like
we would have missed you.
true credit to Divya, because Divya, is in a way hard taskmaster, Shakti behind the brand. And obviously, like I wanted it to brand name is Rahul Mishra because the journey started before I met Divya in 2006 as my classroom project collection for Kerala reversible garments. And after 6 months, I met Divya. And when we started together, our recent company in 2013, by the time Divya was finishing her studies, her exchange program in Milan, and it was more of, I would say, Divya's call to stay with single brand name.
Yeah.
And stay focused on that because she was like, this is our first baby. We need to nurture it.
So, Masoom, as you asked what Rahul and what I would do, it's as I said, Rahul and I just are the designers. Rahul is also a fantastic business person. All the strategies, how to take next steps for the brand, the larger planning, the vision. Of course, there is a table where we both would sit down, do our planning, strategic planning. And as I said, just making a brand is not it's just the start of it. How to make it into an organization, conglomerate is actually a vision for a larger perspective, because a lot of people get attached. It's about a big workforce. So we, as a daily basis, start our day. We are workaholics. Since the inception of the brand and since its time, we've set up a very firm-rooted, infrastructure in North India, Delhi. Actually, NCR, Noida, that's our headquarters. We are in the office every single day, apart from the time we are traveling. We have very good design teams and the department heads. So, slowly we have also learned how to make it into more organized sect. We have team leaders, we have business head. if that vision is not there, how to just not make it only about us. It's also about the people who work with us, divide their jobs, make sure things are moving at pace and speed.
So, I had this question, and before I could ask it, and we didn't discuss this before, but Rahul addressed it, which was that, Divya, have you ever looked at the label and wished your name was there?
Honestly, Masoom, if I had wanted, because I was the one who, we decided to move from Bombay in 2013. We registered it here. And had we wanted, all always said, let's add and Divya. I said, it doesn't make a sense. It's a legacy. It's not, and we are very serious about making it into a brand, not like a brand popped up, then it would go into some other branding, a renaming. It's a process. The inception started with Rahul's debut Kerala reversible super hit collection, which was very well received by Browns London or Mumbai Mirror. That time, how the press was. I'm talking about the non-Instagram days, and how he was the talk of the the new emerging designer.
Offline media.
So I don't want to make it all about people. Rahul Mishra is not a person. It's a brand which is created. You can't keep changing the names. Tata Sons or Birlas or the big names are the names. It's not about one person running it. So it's a brand name, and it's about the people who are behind it. It doesn't really matter who is the name, suffix or a prefix. It's about the people who are running it. It does matter. Today we are here, tomorrow somebody else will be running it.
You want that legacy to be carried forward.
It's a legacy.
We are almost like, even personally, if I have to also say, it's all about the philosophy. We all work together. Ultimately, whatever is present in this space also, it's almost a community work. It's like everybody who comes together. What we showcase in Paris is never my personal work. It's not even Divya's personal work. It's all of us, put together what we create together. But what is really moving our firm is philosophy. How we look at world, and what is the purpose behind doing what we do.
Everyone says don't mix marriage and work, but you did.
I think Rahul and I are friends. We don't behave like husband and wife actually, because we spend most of the time starting our day and end it between many things. So it's about, for example, you get up one day, you don't have anything to do. How would you feel? When you are in a regime of things, you're excited for it. So both of us don't treat ourselves as a relationship of husband and wife. It's more about strategically aligning our days and what are the troubleshootings we are doing. It's so much fun doing it. There are stress moments, there are exciting moments, there are very troublesome moments also, but we don't look it into an egos of relationship, because it's not there is no patriarchy in between us, there is no hierarchy between us, there is an equal love of partnership and friendship. I respect his space, he respects my space. If I have a perspective, he will understand. I have a perspective, and if he has a perspective, I will understand. Yes, of course, there will be frictions, creative differences, a lot. It's not that we don't argue or fight or there are no silent days. Of course, there are. But, it's not like a traditional, conventional husband-wife relationship, because since the start of the marriage, there is a space given to the partner. I'll talk about in front of camera today, and you don't have to take fayda of it later. Rahul has always treated me as his equal, shoulder to shoulder. So he's never looked down that tum mere liye ye karoge, then I'm doing it for you. There's always an equal balance. So sometimes I'm the one more, perhaps sometimes I feel my temperament sometimes I'm more in a temperament.
I'll give you the clip.
This clip is the most important right now.
But there must be some hard part, or there isn't.
Honestly,
do you fight at work?
A lot, as I said.
Quite
creative differences, strategically. So I'm a manager. I only can work with my diary and bucket at the cut checkpoints. I have to cut them out. Rahul has no sense of time.
He has
sense
the
of
vision.
messages. I'm the one who's the four, fingers, and people feel that Rahul is the most social person. He's always responding. Nobody knows it's me actually responding on his behalf. Hi, hello. So if sometimes the tone is a little feminine, please excuse us. But
Really?
So it's of course he knows I'm responding
of
I have
course.
no
on his
idea
behalf.
where my phone is kept all the time.
He's generally a laid back person who is, as I said, creatively he's what all you see, the art and the avant-garde, because of his vision and how he gets absorbed and lost. That's how he gets lost. He doesn't have a track of time. And I'm a time checker. Moms are, right? I'm also a mom, so we need to have a track of time.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it work beautifully, right? When, like you said, the yin to the yang.
Yes.
Who has the final say?
Mostly Divya.
I was about to say, depends on what kind
Okay, but
of...
Divya, I've heard externally as well that it's you. I have to be honest.
And
I've done my due diligence.
I have to convince her a lot.
But it's
Like,
always right?
There might be very, very big decision also altogether. She's not in agreement, but still she has got a very strong belief if Rahul is doing, let him do it. Let's see the result. Let's see the outcome. Let him make efforts about it. So we don't have differences about that. Although if I know some very, very big call I'm taking, and very big call means like something which might involve a very, very big amount of money. But that's also one belief, one freedom which I get a lot of times is like they will say, fine, although I'm not agreeing to it, you go ahead, do what you really feel like, and I trust your vision also in that. So this is also something that's, I think, the reason why I could create my first architectural project in Uttarakhand. I'm really thankful, again, on camera, that without agreeing to something fully, you still allow your partner to at least explore.
But I think that's how any partnership should be. We can't be duplicates of each other in terms of thought process, and it will be very boring otherwise the life will be.
It will be, but I do think we're also, I don't know, I do think that in this sense of time, we're also trying to find familiarity in everything because everything else is changing so rapidly. Because what you're doing is kind of allowing, right? You're allowing, accepting, letting it flow out. Of course, you're voicing your opinion, but you're not stopping it, which is beautiful in its own way.
And this takes a lot of courage, like for somebody like her also, to answer she's not in agreement, maybe with my travel plan, maybe with my investment plan.
It takes a lot of security.
And she also allows, she also respects the vision. Like, fine, there's a larger picture Rahul is seeing, let me, and it's vice versa in that way. I think that is something which comes with a lot of true wisdom. I was telling her, like, she is amongst the wisest people I know in the world.
But you said you both are workaholics. And today there's a lot spoken about that work-life balance. But what is your perspective about it? Or do you think that, I know Rahul has a different perspective to this. I'd love to hear about it from both of you. You're both working. Are you switching off? Do you think it's important to not switch off?
I think it's an organic process, Masoom, because we can really not plan how we want to switch off or switch on, because the life of as an entrepreneurs or the people who are running organization, you're really not answerable to somebody to switch off, switch on. It's about how you have to make things possible around you. So yes, we do have times in the year when we want to be just with our daughter, our family, take short trips to hills or wherever we are going in. If we are in Paris, after that, we'll just, after the shows, we'll take a short trip, take a detour to some other cities. But yes, working extensively because there is no holiday in terms of, head. I still remember it back in 2015, September, I was fully pregnant with my daughter, and that was the time when team was leaving with Rahul. It was 27th or 28th September. I was still working in the office fully, packing everything for the team. Teams were also smaller that time, I'm talking like 10 years back. And for a slight, I never felt very pitiful about me. Oh, I am pregnant. Why should I be here? It was a passion which was driving, because we were doing the ready to wear calendar, and it was a huge thing for us, because constantly getting an approval from the federation and keep doing the good work and getting appreciation also keeps you motivated.
Yes.
Things packed up, they left, flew off. I came back, had some labor pains all night. Next day I told my mother-in-law, let's pack the bag, let's go to the hospital.
And first images I saw, they were in hospital. And, I could not believe. I said, like, what, is this a joke or something? Because it's an 8 hours flight. You don't expect, like, first thing to, and they were sending us selfies in hospital. I said, you're all right. so.
And has she delivered yet?
So on 30th.
Yeah, maybe within few hours after that.
Yeah.
You made it.
Yeah.
So he was not there while Arna
because it was a day before the show.
Yeah.
And Divya said, no, just stay there. Then
when you landed in Paris, you saw this.
Yeah. So because she was busy making sure everything is packed in the office, all the suitcases leave, everything leave, entire collection, accessories, everything leave. It was, I think, our third show of our Paris Ready to Wear calendar. And it was like very important for Divya, me, all of us.
When you talk about working, consuming yourself in what you're passionately doing, moments, precious moments and non-reversible moments like this are part of it, without remorse or without me feeling he was not around for the birth of his first child, of course, the only child. But it's our acceptance. We are intuitive about it, that this is how it is. And he's taking care of that forefront. That's our baby, Rahul Mishra brand label. The show should go on. And this is our baby. So together as a team, how we can take it forward, So these days, so there's no off and on time, coming back to the main question. And
yes,
it's about an organic part of the process.
Tell me about your formative years for both of you. What was it like growing up? What was also the meaning of fashion to you? What was purchasing power like?
We are the only generation, Masoom, who's seen a non-social media, electronic connectivity, how the world is connected right now, because we are that generation who's seen that slow part of media and information and technology, and also seen the rapid part of it. So we are from the both worlds, literally, because we can't be comparing ourselves to our parents or children, because parents had not seen. Children are the new one who are overly stimulated and overly exposed, right? The new generation. So our generation knows the balance of it, what was not there and what is there. So I come from a family of doctors, regular middle class people, have traveled in all sorts of transport of that India, when India has also come up just now as being one of the, how the infrastructurally it is sound, or the economy is little steady in terms of how Indians are also being the global citizen. But that time, it's a very austere, modest upbringing, taking care of little things. You are from that generation of set of parents still, who believe in repair, rerun, redo, repurpose. Those qualities and those values you carry forward.
If I say factually, like, obviously Divya come from, her early childhood was in Lucknow, which was more like a city kind of life. I had a very, very humble upbringing because I came from a very, very small village. Although father was a doctor, but when I was born around the same time, I had a stepmother in my life. So father was not living with us for good part of 8-10 years. So the 10 years I lived with my sister, my mom, and there was an ancestor house in the village where we lived with our Tauji, with everybody. So, and during that time only, I think because of the certain issues, there was a lot of court cases which the family was fighting because of father, because he also left his job. So it was a very, very difficult phase for family, but equally beautiful phase for me, because I got to spend really beautiful time in the village called Malhosi. And schooling was like a normal school with thatch roof. There was partly pakka house, partly kacha house. That's how the scenario was. But again, spending a lot of time farms. And there was no power supply for 6 months. No electricity over there. So it was kind of time which I really even feel like sometimes to experience also back again. So that's one of the reasons I get like more connected to the village life, because first 10 years of your journey, the last thing you're worried about anything. You do not have much sense of not having something. You just enjoy the moment, and that is how I think all beauty of nature, everything which kind of got passed on to me. And again, like Divya, stronger values because family. And yeah, around 1992, my father got his job back after winning a case, and then he realized that I would go to studies. So I was sent to Lucknow to a boarding school. Then after that, came to Kanpur. Then after that, went to NID in Ahmedabad. So, and then my last school was Institute Marangoni Milan, which is one of the most expensive schools in the world. And my first school was as little, I think, around 7 to 10 rupees a month. So yeah, the life has been really, really beautiful. I'm really thankful to everything, whatever I've seen so far. But for me and Divya, just the beginning of.
So I have to connect both your formative years to what you've built today.
Yeah.
Right? So growing up, couture wasn't something that people around you were familiar with. And today you've built a brand, and I have to also talk about price points that sell outfits for lakhs of rupees. How do you ever feel like you're creating something that is not, that how do you wrap your head? How do you create a vision? How do you dream a dream? How do you build a scale that is so different from where you're coming from?
So idea is like, because of those times, when I went to an ID, up close, like we were taken to couture washroom over there. Our late Professor Ranjan, used to take this class called DCC, Design, Concept and Concerns. And that is where, first time I realized power of a vision of Mahatma Gandhi. And this is a full course, because first course was a Khadi. He taught us a vision behind Khadi, how Khadi became a tool, how Khadi became a symbol and everything. So, there's a beautiful quote which says, again, it's not that much of a fashion, but which says like, any step you take in any direction is a Gandhian talisman. And everybody should see that, I really feel. Every human, it teaches the best of human values. Any step you contemplate to take any direction, think of the weakest and poorest person you've ever seen in your life. How that step will use for him to gain his own Swaraj. So for us, when we create fashion, when we create clothing, we always say it's with 4 Ps. What is the purpose for making another garment when so many garments already exist in the world? Purpose is what follows a process. Purpose is why. The process is how. So we choose a slower process. Like, for example, as a designer, it's very simple. Like, you have to work on a graphic. You can just literally print it. It will create half an hour of job for somebody. Machine embroidery is going to create 50 hours a job. When you hand embroider the same outfit, it has potential of creating 5,000 humans a job. 5,000 human hours. I think for us, couture becomes a very transformative tool to create a beautiful outfit. The purpose is that, then follow a process that creates participation from people, from craftsmen. And then finally, that's how the product is born. I think it might sound very spiritual, very Gita kind, that you do. Intention is, an intention follows action. And then from action, a result is born. The result is outfit. So that is how it is. I don't think even till now, Whenever we create anything for haute couture, we actually necessarily look at fashion, what is happening in fashion. We are more of a kind of motivated couple who are trying to create a business which is sustainable, but at the same time very humane in its approach.
So you may say it's like our current profession is by default an enabler for us to do true luxury for the world, but there is a huge narrative. There is a narrative to our brand, as Rahul explained.
What is that big vision? What is that big dream? I know there's one.
Partially, we are there, globally placed in the most prestigious fashion calendar of the world, the official haute couture calendar by the Honorable Federation, placed in between all the big names. But the point is the go-to name, the same from west to east, more audience, more followers, to and more brand affinity to make it more of a household name.
Obviously, like what Divya is saying, just to add to that, that's happening because a brand building is not a exercise which you're going to reach to ultimate goal. Even the most coveted brands also creating a brand building narrative with every collection, every step they take, every store they launch, everything they do. I think we are able to do everything in that way. But I really feel what is maybe this goal, I keep talking to Divya also about it, and she partially agrees to that. My idea is to create the most beautiful studio in the world, which employs thousands of people, which takes care of their aspirations at the same time. So idea is a lot of times, luxury is perceived as how you market it, how you position it, how the retail operates. I think the real luxury happens how you make things. Real luxury lies in the process of things. Otherwise, what a fast fashion selling versus a luxury selling, if the fabric is the same, cut is the same, it's not just about the number of pieces because you're making less. Somebody has to pay more. Or just the brand value, somebody has to pay more. I think it's distinctly the history of luxury. It might look very flashy today because of the strong marketing which goes behind luxury, but actually entire origination of luxury or couture happened based on craftsmanship. And craftsmanship comes from process. It does not come from marketing. So our idea is like, I want to create a studio, a setup, which enriches people in terms of learning, which protects culture, promotes culture, and at the same time creates artistic expression. So it's almost like Rahul Mishra Studio meets NID meets Shanti Niketan.
And is this aligned with your goals for reverse migration?
We started this process, me and Divya, when we moved to Delhi. We were working with some set of, and that same year we came across set of amazing embroiderers who were doing embroidery for some of the best labels of the world. When we went to the studio in Mumbai, Jija Mata at Gandhinagar in Mumbai, the slum areas. Then when I went over there, a small room, maybe 40 of them would work together, sleep over there, live in that area, sleeping next to each other. There's no clean water for sanitation. They have to walk for sometimes few hours just for nature call. So when you start looking at those conditions, and that's where the most of the luxury was being produced. I started with, there's a gentleman called Afzal Zariwala. I asked him, where you come from? He said, I come from the village. And what happens, most of the guys, even the drivers, even our people who migrate to cities, the reason is for the migration that the job opportunities are not there in villages. The employment is not a doorstep in the village. So most of these guys, they earn in cities, and 90% earning they send back home. That money takes care of their children, their old parents, and they also end up building houses over there just to give a social message to society that we are doing well in city. So most of the guys, they build their pakka house. But unfortunately, because there's no job, there's no work in the village, they end up living in city. So what he started in a small village called Bonpur in West Bengal, an experiment almost like 12 years, 15 years back, was to reverse migrate people. And now the similar model is being applied at different pockets of India. Some were in UP, West Bengal, in Uttarakhand. So idea is like, how do we make sure that people get paid more? They are encouraged to go back to the village. They can live with the children. They can take care of their old parents. They can enjoy, good homemade food rather than. And most of the time, what happens? These guys, they cook their meal. Only one meal they are able to cook at night at around 11 o'clock. Eat that, not really healthy meal, full of starch. Eat that, and then save something for the morning. And then in afternoon time, usually vada pav and chai. So I really feel people who are creating such beautiful things, they need to have a home time. And that is something which has started. And we want to build more upon that. And also what it does is, when you pay, maybe if I just give example, 1 crore of rupees is spent in paying wages in villages, then the person who lives in villages spends that money in the village. So what in return, it allows a sabji wala to live in village. It allows a milk guy also have a good business, the house repairing guy, so somehow
it's an
that
economy that starts getting accelerated.
It's a local economy gets a boost worth 10 crores because of circulation of money. That is somewhere we have realized the huge power. And in times of AI and everything, I really feel, me and Divya, we really believe this is how fashion can contribute to a better world.
As designers, do you feel threatened by AI?
It's a gradual process, Masoom. Imagine the world when there was just hand artworks and suddenly an Adobe was introduced in design colleges. It just enabled. AI will become a integrated part one day. You'll never come to know how and when, but you will get used to it. There is no way we'll not adapt it. Each one of it, wherever this whole thing is going around, it's going to eat up jobs and all. There'll always be a parallel, word to it, which will come to terms and make its own way of doing things through and not through AI. So it's a inevitable part.
I really believe AI is, if you really believe the humans have created AI, I think that's not the true. Humans have only created language learning models like LML and all that, all the language models where machine learning can happen. Now, AI is outcome of machine learnings today, and machines learning at a very, very fast pace. Definitely, intelligence is going to be one of the most overflowing commodity in the world, which is going to change the world. But definitely, if I just give you example, when the photography got invented, all the artists were getting paid by making amazing portraits of somebody, some rich people. Suddenly, art thought that there will be no world, no meaning for art left because photography is coming in a big way. But the real value of art started happening after photography. Today, everybody has got a camera in their hand. But it does not make job of photographers or great talent disappear.
Yes.
In the same way, AI is going to be an enabler. All of us needs to embrace it. It's a newish technology. It's almost like I think one of the biggest invention humans ever seen is almost like internet. And the idea is you use it, ride the wave, But the beauty of couture, beauty of hand process will get far more valued as more mechanization happens.
So true. So true. Have you faced any rejection in your career that has stayed with you?
Yeah, many.
I think it's so important for you to share that, because for so many people watching, there's always this sort of aspiration that you see. At the end of the day, everyone sees the legacy and the brand. And when they're reminded, especially young people tuning in, when they're reminded of those rejections, it really helps others.
Masoom, I'm not recalling the Hindi. There's a beautiful Hindi Kabir Ji's phrase poem. When he says "Mati kare kumhar" something, it breaks and it comes up. Pakne se pehle, the beautiful earthen pots, they go through a process.
It has to beat it.
Yeah, it has to beat it, flatten it, wapas dough mein dal ke, it just comes up to a shape final. We all have our parts and, phases of failures, learnings after all. So mind is a very strong tool. There are people who will take up failures as rejections and go back, the jet speed back. But at the same time, it's on you how you take rejections at a jet setter launch pad. 2014 International Woolmark Prize, Rahul, India level, or
I think
13.
It was 2012.
12. Oh yeah, of course we were in Bombay. So with all heart and soul, thinking the best entry, and it got rejected. Somebody else won it. Rahul was in a little cocoon.
For 7 days, I didn't go to office. I think failures are also one of your best friends, because you work upon it. You are not complacent. I really feel it's all the grinding, all the hard work which goes behind making something. I'm sure about it. If I would have won that 2012, which I so much wanted, the life would have been very different.
Yeah.
And maybe I would have never won the international round because I was not prepared. God somewhere did a favor of not allowing us being so close to winning it. Because I remember that season, we didn't win. We thought we were going to win it because we had most amazing garment. Everything was really good. And then after that, 2012, 2013 happened. Again, I applied. And this time, regional round, we won. And then I think that also gave us like first initial funding to fund the business.
And the prize is $100,000?
Yeah.
No, first round was around 30 lakhs rupees.
Yeah.
And then second round was
Australian dollars.
$100,000. So it's the second round which you end up winning as a global prize. I remember. So we both were there. Me and Divya, when Franca Sudani at the backstage, she announced her name. It was a grand Hyatt. It was Hyatt in Milan, center of Milan. So Woolmark said that all the participants, for us, all the finalists are winners because you have won regional rounds. You have come here all the way. Now you should meet press. I had to go for jury, and 9 o'clock it was a breakfast time where they have asked us to actually meet press. And coming from India, you are most excited about press. You're a young designer. You want to meet press. You go with high hopes that, there was New York Times, there was everything over there, and they are going to speak to you. And then we both are sitting over there. Nobody came to talk to us. And people were, I still remember, some of the Indian media was not speaking to us. So I remember one of the fellow contestant had like a longest possible queue. Even there was an Indian press, because probably Indian press had already spoken to me in India, and this was not like something which a reason to. And people already thought that the brand is going to win, other brand is going to win. And this was like in the morning, right before the jury. I remember first nobody turned up, and some of the Indian press which was there, they wanted to speak to a particular brand. They said like India is not the focus right now for retail, and they did not even give them time to speak. That was the whole perspective about India. And as we won the Woolmark Prize, even at the point in time, I remember like New York Times writing, Indian designer scoops the prize. Almost like you did not deserve it, but it's a fluke which happened. Now, this season after Paris Haute Couture Week, I saw they are talking about roundup story of couture. In the main story, our garment is the biggest. It's on the top.
The heart?
Yeah, the hard dress was on the top. And behind that, every other brand which participated or in the haute couture story, where the Financial Times is the same press. It took us like that much of time, and that's why it's a lesson about perseverance, persistent. Like you cut to almost 10 years later.
We have tasted as mature, grown-up adults rejections in the room full of glamour, but again, the brain, we need to be persistent on what our vision is. Rejections will always come.
And failures are great to learn and do something new.
So we know there have been incredible wins on the global stage for Rahul Mishra, the brand. Whose idea, whose vision was it to go global? What does that roadmap look like? Do you need PR? Do you need someone to design the strategy? What do you need to actually be able to elevate from India and be able to escalate to global?
I will say this, you need a crazy dream for it, because again, I'll give you this anecdote from what I have heard in NID, the college we both are from. He's my 3 years senior. His friends used to say, closest friends, that back in 2003, Rahul, some guy from Kanpur has come and he says, you just wait for 10 more years, I'll be in the global fashion stage. And everybody used to laugh off, a Kanpur. Imagine the concoction, yes. Kanpur Mishra is equals to fashion. That's the crazy dream and manifestation. And I just joined as a workforce, as a partner in crime, and it just eventually opened doors of opportunities. We started our journey of fashion, apparel, product, and then Woolmark happened. That was a milestone moment for the brand. From there, the next steps was, of course, we looked up to that time Manish Arora was a big brand from India in Paris.
Yes.
And we went to him and he gave us some, feedback on what to do next steps. And then, of course, we went to, Rahul wanted to do Paris. It's always his bigger dream. So it was right, bang on, to reach out to a Paris entity and ask them if he can be part of the calendar. And they very beautifully embraced the brand to give the chance to do the first RTW show.
What does it take to ask that question?
So obviously, the Woolmark Prize winning was a big service. I remember Manish Arora called us to his studio, both of us. You're like, what after this? I said, yeah, we are happy. It's like, I'll give a big slap if we don't do anything beyond this. So to get up, don't just celebrate it. Get up, go on the world, find your way. And he was very right. He said, you have to find your way. I'm not going to help you with anything. So he was like, so clear. And then
we took a flight.
It was the first flight ever for us to Paris. We went to Federation. Second flight was when I was showcasing at Paris Calendar, sandwiched between Hermes and Miu Miu. These two brands were there on last day where we were. And then after that has been a journey. And also, we both always believed that when haute couture happened, we became first Indian designer to be, invited on calendar in 2020. And just 3 years later, when Gaurav was preparing, I remember Gaurav, Saurabh, his brother, everybody, all of them called and they said, like, how to go about it, what are things? And I spent almost half a day at his office. I went there. I said, and we had multiple conversations about it. Because my idea is if I have to make it big, if India has to make it big, it's not just about just 2 of us or 3 of us. It has to be quite a few more of us. That's what Japan has done. And fine, without choice, I'm their first one to be at haute couture, or me and Divya are first one. But we don't want to be last one.
Yes, I love this thought.
We want to make sure that India shines over there. And because India is shining any which way. Those embroideries which you see happening at the big brands like Dior, Chanel and all that, they all are mostly made in India.
Yes.
So Indian craftsmen are shining, but India needs to be author of luxury. So for that, it becomes really important for a lot of talent to be recognized across the globe, not just one.
You've shown your collections alongside houses like Chanel and Dior. What is something that we as an Indian industry can learn from them?
It's also about, their countries were way ahead of us when they were maybe driving the longer cars and the television was already colored. Our country was going through Indo-Sino War or the new wars which are emerging 1960s, right? And these brands are as old as 1930s, 20s, or maybe some late 1800s. Of course, there is a huge gap of development and the processes and acceptance of those luxury products. They have their own legacies and stories behind it, why they had been born and what is happening to those design brand houses. But I would say because as a design language, they were able to be the first setters, in the industry. What we need to take forward is the consistency of quality and the kind of processes they inculcate, even if they'll outsource some part of it from our country and all, but how it's properly put together and presented to the world, the presentation, the graphic, the aesthetic behind the entire process is very important.
If I have to just add to that, I really feel, they were the first one because business, although the brand might be 100-year-old, but the business sizes in just 20, 30 years back were fairly small. Compared to our business sizes right now, Indian designers' business sizes right now.
Very true.
But then what they have done, they have built a very, very strong marketing machinery and retail machinery behind that. The huge investments which they have made as early movers. So this is a lot of the success, a lot of noise which you're seeing of the brands are also very recent. So this also gives us a great understanding how this thing works, and there's a great recipe how a global brand can emerge out of anywhere if you do things correctly. But at the same time, what is happening with the social media, with almost like journalism or next level, brands have to be very conscious because too much of marketing also goes down negatively.
And it's overexposure.
Yeah, because marketing has to be done with authenticity. I think this is one takeaway, which when you are trying to build a brand, anybody who's trying to build a brand, who has dream of making a global brand, I think there cannot be any compromise on authenticity, authentic storytelling. And then after that, marketing machinery, retail, everything is add-on, is icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But this is something which some of the brands, they have been doing really, really well. Like Hermes for that matter. They're still focused on, or the marketing machinery are focused on craftsmanship.
Yes.
Which makes it like so compelling, and there's so much to learn from them.
If there was one Indian technique or craft that would be on the brink of extinction, which one would you fight to preserve?
Can I make it more in sense of global?
Yeah.
I think as how the things are happening for our climate also. And it's a very generic way of looking at it, but it's actually happening. In older times, we have always seen patching, repatching, repurposing, reusing, getting back into the processes which are more, you don't buy a lot, but you are repurposing and just circulating that whole stuff. Even for I'm not getting into the technique of it. For example, for our daughter, what we can just buy less, take it from our cousins, all the elder cousins, and just circulate the whole stuff inside.
Circulation.
Yes.
There's been a revolutionary movement that has just happened, I think, as we're shooting this right now, but as soon as just yesterday, I know the High Court has passed an order where now plagiarizing Rahul Mishra's designs is now an offense. And I think this is revolutionary for the Indian fashion industry, because plagiarism is something that so many designers have really been suffering from, with smaller designers in question, with also the stores that you see that are catering to a more mass market. How did that order come about? And what is your thought process on designs being copied?
I think, this is a kind of constant struggle which all the creatives are facing, not just designers alone, all the creators. Whether it's a lyrics or a song or music, everywhere. So I really feel, if you approach code, and with a valid and bona fide intention, if you approach code, it also shapes law. Because when court orders are passed in certain way, then in similar cases, those court orders are referred. So for us, like, this has been a wonderful win where Honorable High Court, pertaining to one style of ours, which we have seen, the tiger motif, which Mark Zuckerberg was wearing recently. So idea was, like, for example, we want to also create a system and contribute to the system so that people value intellectual property and there's no theft which happens in that way. So we wanted to create, like, and that's where, like, we have taken this very seriously. And it's not just the only case. Like, we are very, very actively involved in protecting our designs, because it's not just about protecting designs which may inflict us some loss when somebody copies it. It also takes away opportunity of embroiderers, hand embroiderers' work. Because most of the times, even this design in particular I'm talking about, we make designs with hand. It takes certain amount of time to reproduce those designs. And on the other hand, somebody sitting in some corner of India, who's also probably a billionaire, on his computer embroidery and on printing, creates the identical designs in mechanized process and floods with the market. So that person is not just taking away my designs, he's also taking away opportunity of extra working from hand embroiderers who could participate in making that and create it's also a question mark on livelihood. That is where, like, I think that is where design and also processes have to be protected. And I'm very thankful to Honorable Court that court had recognized, and it's almost gave a landmark, direction.
Yes, I do think
in protection of IP.
This does change the trajectory of what lies ahead. Thank you so much, Rahul and Divya. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being on the show.
Our pleasure, Masoom.
Thank you for making the time.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
looking forward to seeing you all. I still remember. I have to take you back to that memory. I think it was 2018 or 2019. Ready to wear.
Yeah. Yellow dress.
It was both of you. Yes. Oh my God. Arna was there as well, your daughter. And I remember being there, and there weren't that many Indians in the audience there. That there were no Indians showcasing. I don't remember if Manish Arora was there that season or not. I can't recollect. But the start of a beautiful journey, and hope to continue it together.
Thank you, Masoom. You also keep shining and make us so proud all the time.
Thank you so much.